And welcome to Local Edition on Time Warner Cable. I'm Steve Swatt with the Sacramento Report. In the next few minutes, we're going to talk about an effort at the state capitol to repurpose Medi-Cal dollars regarding the homeless. My guest this segment is David Chiu, a member of the State Assembly from San Francisco. Thanks for being with us.
Thanks for having us.
So what you're proposing is really a paradigm shift in terms of spending money on the homeless. And, well, tell us about it.
Well, we're in the midst as a state of a very intense housing crisis and a homelessness crisis. And we all know that if you're chronically homeless, you're often cycling from the streets into emergency rooms, into inpatient admissions, into nursing homes. And homeless folks are costing our public systems thousands of dollars per month, 2/3 of those costs being to deal with healthcare needs. And what we know is that if we were to put a roof over someone's head, we drop dramatically the future healthcare costs for those individuals because they're not on the streets. They're able to get care. They're able to get rest. They're able to be on an appropriate diet. And so what we have proposed is to use state healthcare Medi-Cal dollars to actually provide rental assistance for these individuals as a way of saving future healthcare dollars. And we believe that's a smarter paradigm in how we address homelessness.
So you think over the years, despite all the good intentions, that just basically the legislature and others have been making a mistake in putting money, more money than necessary into healthcare without seeing really the underlying cause?
We have been compassionate as cities and a state in addressing the needs of someone who's homeless on the street after they're homeless, which drives up the healthcare costs. And part of what I'm proposing this year is that we make a one-time initial investment in getting some of these folks off the streets, which will lead to future healthcare dollar savings that we can then use to, again, care for our homeless residents, both in the healthcare context and in the housing context. It is a paradigm shift. It's about treating all of the needs of a homeless person in the so-called whole person care model as opposed to just one or two of their needs.
Making paradigm shifts is difficult at the state capitol because you have entrenched bureaucracies and you have organizations that have been working for years and years and years on health care, for example, for the homeless. What kind of pushback are you getting from some of these organizations that say, wait a minute, I understand what you're talking about, but you're taking actual dollars away from the constituents we're trying to help?
Well, I would say we are moving dollars to where we can best help someone. And in fact, there are many healthcare professionals as well as our state health agencies that very much support this idea of rather than using money in repeat emergency room visits to put the money up front so that we won't see those homeless individuals as patients in emergency rooms days down the line.
Now, this is out of the Medi-Cal funding,
correct,
right? And no issues in terms of repurposing some of this money away from health care into something that's a little more on the periphery?
Well, I would say this has been a conversation for a couple of years. I think it's fair to say that California policymakers understand the importance of this paradigm shift that hasn't necessarily gotten to the federal government. We as a state asked the federal government last year to consider this. They said they weren't ready for it yet, but what we've decided to do is to use some of our own state dollars to do a pilot program in this area to really prove that we're going to see long-term savings and hopefully with that really move forward this paradigm change.
And try to get the feds to change Medicaid, for example.
Exactly, exactly.
Right. Well, a fascinating subject. We're certainly going to watch the progress of this legislation, which I know has already been approved by 2 assembly committees. David Chiu, thanks for coming by and talking about it.
Appreciate you having me.
And thanks to our viewers also for watching Local Edition on Time Warner Cable. A reminder, you can see this and other interviews on YouTube, My Government on Demand, and the California channel. I'm Steve Swatt. Have a great day.